Happy New Year to all my friends, to all my followers, to all my subscribers. I wish you a happy and prosperous 2026. We have gone through 2025. There were challenges, there were opportunities, and we have faced them. In some areas, we didn't quite make it. Don't stop to worry about that too much. In some areas, we did excel. We will look at all those and we move forward. As we move into 2026, this is my message to you. Face 2026 as a good steward. And those of you who have been following my program, you know what we mean when we talk about being a good steward. A good steward measuring up intellectually, socially, spiritually, physically, and materially. When we begin to look at all those and we can pronounce it very good, then indeed we are good stewards. So we have moved into 2026 and we want to face 2026 as good stewards. I'd like to share some passages with you and see what we get from them, how we can be strengthened, how we can be encouraged as we go along. First of all, I'd like you to look at 1 Peter 4, verses 9 to 10. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling, as each one of you has received a gift. Minister to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. If you would face 2026 as a good steward, there are certain things we must have in place. Some choose to call them resolutions, whatever you call them, but we must have some things in place so that we can know for sure that we are getting where we set out to get. So come with me and let us have some pronouncement as to what will make us good stewards. First of all, I am suggesting that we have an awareness, a full awareness of God. Many of us, we talk about God. We like to hear about God, but we do not have that intimate relationship with God. We are not at a position where we can address God as a friend, as a counselor, as our wisdom, as our strength. We're still trying to do things on our own. We're still listening to others instead of listening to God. First and foremost, if we're going to be good stewards in 2026, there must be that full awareness of God, the mighty one of Israel. Listen to Jesus in John 17, verse 3. And this is life eternal, that they may know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. This is what we're talking about. To know God in such a way that our eternal life begins now. We're not just waiting for a second advent to begin to experience eternal life, but our eternal life begins here and now. Colossians 1 verse 10, that you may walk worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing him, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God. Set aside some time every day to talk with God. But not so much you're talking with God, but to allow God to talk with you. Listen to his voice in full submission. Wait on the Lord. The songwriter says, breathe on me, breath of God, that I may do what you would do and know what you do know. So let's get acquainted with God. Then we must be fully aware of the estate around us. What is there around you? What is the composition of your world like? You know, some of us, we have ideas that hindering from moving forward. Some of us have reached a place where we begin to think that the material world is not from the master of the universe. But we want to have in our mind, like the psalmist says, the earth is the Lord's and its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. It's God design. God set it up. When he did set up the earth, it was for righteous Adam and Eve. It is still for God's people. It is not just for those who are wicked and can scheme and get what they want. No, it is for God's children. And once you can see the material world as a gift from God, then you're able to fit in with nature's world and to draw from nature's world. So be aware of the estate. Then you want to be aware of yourself as a steward, and you want to be aware of the other stewards around you. We cannot function in isolation. We are part of a great company, and that's God's design. It is not good for the man to be alone. That is true in every aspect of our lives. It is true for our material existence. It's not good for the man to be alone when it comes to material things. It is not good for the man to be alone when it comes to intellectual things. It is not good for the man to be alone socially. It is not good for the man to be alone spiritually. It is not good for the man to be alone spiritually. So we must begin to be aware of the stewards around us. Some, because they are not in line with what is there for good development, for prosperous living, you will have to avoid them. I'm not sending you to eliminate anybody, but you have to avoid them. You have to dismiss yourself from their company or dismiss them from your company. But there are still good people in the world. During 2025, I've met a lot of good people, people who encourage me, people who help me intellectually, people who help me socially, people who help me materially, people who help me spiritually. And I have experienced a wealth of blessing as I as I was able to improve my social standing. So be aware of the stewards around you. Be aware of yourself. Look at yourself. Are you attracting good stewards or are you dismissing them? What we do, what we say, what we think will help us to attract that which is good. You know, quite often we look around and we decide that the people around us are not so good. But you know something? If we were to stop and analyze what is there in us, around us, we would begin to realize that we are causing people to act the way they act. Not in every case, but in many cases it is so. So begin to examine yourself and to see whether or not you're a good steward. Then we must be aware of the fact that there are enemies, adversaries around us. Not everyone wants you to prosper. Not everyone wants you to blossom forth. When we look at scriptural record, we discover from the very beginning, adversaries are there. The great adversary was in the Garden of Eden, trying to disconnect Adam and Eve from the master of the universe, trying to disconnect them from the estate. Adversaries are still in existence. They're in your family circle. They're in your religious world. Many of the problems through the ages, they were there because of false religious leaders and thinkers. Many who have not experienced great blessings, they can trace their problem back to some religious leaders. In the educational world, there are adversaries. The financial world, there are adversaries. I've just noticed 2 days ago that some leaders in the financial world, they were arrested because of false dealing, alleged false dealings, and misleading people. They're still there. No, you're not going to spend your time walking around searching for adversaries. But when you're connected to the master of the universe and you're connected to good stewards and you begin to develop within yourself that ability to reason, to think, and to assess, you will be aware of the adversaries. Don't give yourself some naive, we have to love everybody, we have to be on good terms with everybody. That doesn't work. The adversaries must be dismissed. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Resist those who are hindering your path of development, those who are deliberately misleading you, whether in the political world, the educational world, the social world, the material world. Resist them, avoid them, and you will prosper. Listen to Peter. First Peter 5, verses 8 to 9. Be sober. Yes, if you are sober, your mind is clear, you will be able to assess the adversaries and you will know what to do with them. Be vigilant because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Don't just look for that image that they have painted over the ear, black, two forked, two horns, creature coming around to lead you astray. Sometimes they're those who pose as your friends. They eat with you, they drink with you, but be vigilant. Resist him. Be steadfast in faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. Yes, others have adversaries coming to them, and you will always have adversaries, but be on the alert. When you're connected to the Master, connected to good counselors, you will be able to work around, work from, or to avoid the adversaries. Then have some mission program. Have something you want to do. Have something you're passionate about. Have a mission to help others. If you're not helping others, you can't be prosperous. Now, I've emphasized over and over the message of receiving. Yes, the steward's status is to receive, but it is also for giving. That mission program must be there. If you're not, when we talk about being missionaries, I'm not just talking about going out with the Bible, wanting to baptize people and get them in a church. I'm talking about a general mission program to help humanity, to help someone to be better materially, to help someone to be better intellectually, to help someone to be better socially, to help someone to be better physically, to help someone to be better spiritually. Help somebody during 2026, and you will find that that will work in a marvelous way to make you a good steward, to enter into the great mission program and prosper. Then I'd like to advise my friends, invest wisely. Invest wisely. Look at your overall picture and begin to make wise investments. Yes, when we talk about investment, quite a number of us, we settle in the material. That is good, but invest intellectually, invest socially, invest spiritually, first and foremost. Invest spiritually. Make sure you're connected with the Master of the universe. Make sure you're drawing on that heavenly resource. As one writer says one time, it's surprising that some of us, even as Christians, we talk about the greatest power in the universe, the spiritual power, and yet we're going around spiritually poor. When you're spiritually wealthy, you're attractive in every other area. Because Jesus was spiritually strong, even his enemies went out, and when they were trying to trap him, they had to go back with the message, never a man spake like this man. Because Jesus was strong spiritually. He invested in the his spiritual existence. The record tells us that he would get up early in the morning and he would go out and he would pray and seek the Father's strength, the Father's wisdom, the Father's guidance. So he was strong spiritually. He was strong socially. He was strong materially. Some of us, we have a way of emphasizing Jesus' poverty. But let's look at it again. Let's look at what is happening around Jesus. Let's look at what his poverty was like. He was able to feed the multitude. He was able to heal the sick. He was able to escape his enemies. It was in submission that he chose to die for the sins of the many. So when you think of Jesus' poverty, don't begin to deny yourself of material development. The master of the universe, like many of us, all of us, to improve, grow, be stronger materially, intellectually, socially, spiritually, and physically. So make good investments. When you come to think of the material investment, seek good counselors. I was very happy a few days ago. The gentleman gave his testimony and he was telling me some of his achievements, how he has established himself. And I was overjoyed when he told me that much of it can be attributed to his association with me. We used to walk years ago, we would walk together, talk together. He told me, I gain a lot from you. And I have this, I have that. I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of that. And I'm getting there. I'm not posing as the counselor personified, but those who choose to listen to my counseling, those who work with me, they are being blessed. And when they work with other counselors, other instructors, they are being blessed. Be wise as you choose your counselors, your spiritual counselors, your social counselors, your material counselors, your physical counselors. But have some counselors that will help you. None of us can begin to say we know all that we should know. There are wise people around who can help you to get where you want to get. Cast your bread upon the waters, and you will find it after many days. For 2026, give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what shall be upon the earth. Many will walk around and they will tell you that the evils are coming and this will happen and that will happen. But if you're truly connected to the master of the universe, the estate, and your fellow steward, you will not worry unduly about what is coming. You will face them with strength divine. Let me close with this nice passage from Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. They that wait upon the Lord, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall walk and not weary. They shall run and not faint. Be wise during 2026 and experience God's prosperity. May your blessing be sure, and may we finish 2026 rejoicing in the Lord, rejoicing that we have made strides in our progress, in our development, in our seeking for true prosperity. May your blessing be experienced as the Master would have it. Have a pleasant 2026.